Good morning, everybody. I am Judith from EIT Urban Mobility. Welcome to the webinar on the targeted call topic release 3. We will immediately start the session. So today we have the first session, which is on the first topic, demand responsive transport. Adnan, you can move to the next slide, please. So while Adnan is changing the slide, I would like to tell you that this webinar is being recorded and that the recording will be available on the call webpage and also on the YouTube channel. Be aware that you are being recorded. But then I cannot see the slides that you're sharing. I cannot see that you're moving them. Excuse us for a second. Okay, perfect. So what are we gonna look into today? So I will start presenting the scope in which this topic takes place. So I will present to you the targeted project program and the general targeted call. Then Adnan will present the topic scope. Laura will explain you more about the application and evaluation process. And then we will go to explain you a little bit about how it will look like if you would win the project. And then, of course, it's time for listening to you and that you can ask us some questions. Please post all your questions in the Q&A section of this webinar. And then at the end of the webinar, we will answer them all. So let's start with the framework and the timeline of the targeted call, so we get a bit of context, of course. So, as I said at the beginning, I'm Judith. I'm managing the targeted project program, which is one of the programs of the innovation program here at EIT Urban Mobility. And to give you a bit of an understanding of why the targeted project program exists. So it was created in the beginning of this year, so it's only just 1 year old, this program, and it's to complement the main innovation call. And it allows us to look in our innovation portfolio and see if there are any portfolio gaps and then try to address them through the targeted program. Also, it allows us to quickly respond to market failures and to other external events like policy changes, or also, of course, emerging technology and trends. So this framework allows us to quickly try to request consortia to apply to certain topics that we want to address as quickly as possible, because they were not yet addressed by the main innovation call, or because let's say that we want to address them quicker than the main innovation call would allow us to. The framework is pretty similar as the main innovation call. It's the format is an open call. The only difference is that now it will be permanently open and we will just launch different topics along the years. You will always have 2 months, like the main innovation call, to apply to those topics. The technology readiness level that we focus on is similar, 6 to 7. And we always focus on mandatory KPIs, which is the marketed innovation that you might be familiar with. The projects depend, the duration and the budget always depends on the type of project, because of course each type of technology or project might require a different timeline or budget, but overall it's up to 12 months and between 250 and 350K. In terms of topics, as I explained you before where they come from, but here you have some examples that we have addressed as important topics that we would like to fund under the targeted program. However, this is not an exhaustive list and it might change of upcoming topics like other things we identify along the year. an important thing to mention as well, or to emphasize, is that the targeted program is mainly focused on industry and on startups and SMEs. And of course, cities are usually there to demonstrate the different type of technologies. And especially from 2024 onwards, we will focus more and more on industry as well. And to put the timeline a bit in context, we had 2 other topic launches in the beginning of this year. We had one in February on waterborne mobility and the democratization of large-scale ICT solutions for public transport operators. And in June, we launched another topics, one on healthy cities and one on stimulating hydrogen demand. And now we are in the 3rd topic launch, which is now in December. So topic release 3. Now we get to why you're actually here today. So this is the 3rd release of topics as part of the targeted program. This time, for this edition, we will have 5 topics that we are looking for projects. We will fund 5 to 8 projects depending on each of the topics. So 5 to 8 projects in total for all 5 topics. And the budgets are between 250 to 600,000 EIT grant per project. So it depends again on the topic, what is the maximum budget per topic. And in total, this is up to 2.5 million for this topic release. So for all 5 topics together. And if in the right, you can see all the topics that we are looking for projects for this edition. And today we are here for the demand responsive transport for risk countries. So having said that, this is a timeline. The topics will launch in the 14th of December. They will close, the 20th of December. And on the 22nd of February, we have the cutoff day. So this is where you have to submit everything, which means that after the evaluation process in March, you can start your projects in April, May. So this comes now to the most important part of the session. I will give the floor to my colleague from the targeted team, Adnan, and he will tell you more about this specific topic and what we would like to fund under this topic.
Hello, everyone. So yeah, thanks, Judith. So I'll go a bit into the specifics of the topic. And in a nutshell, what we're looking for is a on-demand services software as a service, basically. And we're looking for something in particular is that it's integrated within the wider public transportation services. So this is obviously, we're trying to do this in the context of regional innovation scheme countries, where there is a need for flexible, shared, sustainable mobility between specifically the suburban areas and the urban areas, given the nature of the increased urban sprawl in these countries. So I'll talk a bit about the relevance for this topic. So it's particularly it falls within two type of gaps that we're trying to cover here. One of them is a gap in a geographic gap. So we know that, like most European countries, there's a huge urban migration, but it's a bit more acute or prevalent in risk countries, specifically Eastern European countries, where we have about 14% of the population still in rural areas and moving. So we need to try the innovative DRT solutions there and try and implement them. We also are looking for increased cooperation between the private sector, particularly SMEs, and the public sector. The other gap that is complementary to this one, and it's the topic gap. We know that the DRT solutions are undergoing several pilots across Europe. There is a question, however, in terms of their integration within the broader public infrastructure services. So that is exactly the two things that we are trying to cover in this topic. So I'll take you through some of the main project tasks and requirements. So obviously the main project task is the solution development. So either we create or enhance an existing or significantly enhance an existing software as a service solution that is basically in the area of DRT. And the goal is to empower transport operators, whether it's a PTO or a PTA, to establish new and flexible routes that follow the user needs. So within the context of the solution, we need to develop like a city analysis, anything, a digital twin, anything that understands basically the need of the city. And obviously the key other task is the demonstration. So to showcase the solution in at least one RIS city. And that for a minimum of 6 months. As I said earlier, a key thing here is the integration with public transport. And another aspect is scale-up planning. So we don't want just the pilot for the sake of the pilot, but we need a plan basically on how you're intending to or would scale the solution. Some of the key requirements are to tackle basically the challenge that is presented by the city, to promote innovation in the context of shared and on-demand transport models. Another key aspect as well is to include different socioeconomic groups, neighborhoods, especially the ones that are underserved by the current mobility services. And then a key aspect as well is to encourage these private-public synergies between the PTOs, PTAs, so public transport operators or authorities in one hand, and small SMEs or startups in the other hand. Next are the project outcome. So the goal is that the solution is both flexible, that allows us to that it can basically be replicated in different European cities and other European cities and compete in a global market, and obviously that is scalable as well. That can scale to a bigger market basically. We do need the solution to give the opportunity to the city planners to leverage the data that is available, to adjust the services, to introduce new stops, new lines, and address any increase in demand in specific areas. And obviously, the overarching role is that this will increase the efficiency of the fleet management, leading to a reduction in both the costs and greenhouse gases emissions. So who can apply? This call is obviously, as all of our calls, is open to, generally, is open to EU members and Horizon Europe associate countries. We need at least 2 different partners from 2 different countries and a maximum of 3. So between 2 and 3 partners from 2 different countries. One of them at least has to be a PTO, a public transport operator or authority from a RIS city as the relevant demonstration partner. Obviously, you can have more than one demo partner. Each consortium must include at least one commercial partner, so the one that is responsible for the marketed innovation, so the organization that is gonna develop the solution. Organizations that are responsible for the demonstration can either form part of the consortium or can also provide a letter of support. So these are the eligibility rules. Our preferred consortium. So what are the some of the characteristics that we will evaluate positively? So for the demonstrating partner, it's a PTO or a PTA that is situated in a rapidly expanding city, so a city that is growing fast, but that it did not implement the RT solutions yet. The commercial partner, on the other hand, should have a strong record in planning software as a solution mobility service, software as a service mobility solutions, basically. So things like route optimization algorithms, data models, simulating demand capacity, etc., and proposing basically solutions. And then obviously that they've had an experience in launching pilot operations to reduce fuel consumption, enhance fleet efficiency. So one key question that is topic specific in this case is, to what extent do both the technology provider and the city possess the capacity, experience, and resources to seamlessly integrate the demand responsive transport solution into the general public transport system? So this is a key aspect, as I said earlier in the presentation, is a key aspect of this topic is that we are not only looking for a DRT solution, but we are looking to a DRT solution that can be integrated or should be integrated into the general public transport system. Regarding the KPIs, I'm not going to go through all of them. I'm just going to mention the three mandatory ones. So the first one is marketed innovations with a sales revenue of at least 10,000 euros. So obviously the innovation should, so we are talking about an innovation, which means that either a new solution or an enhanced solution. And then we're looking at a sales revenue at least 10,000 euros by the end of the project. And then the other two things are city engagement in projects and then the demonstration. So the city engagement, that we have a city engaged in the project, and that we have a demonstration of the or a pilot of the solution. There are additional KPIs that we positively evaluate, especially the one that, in the case of like startups created, if there is a startup that is going to be created within the framework of this project. Obviously, only if this is needed or necessary. So the budget, the maximum EIT funding we are proposing for this project is 250,000 euros. Plus a minimum of 33% co-funding. So that's the amount that is presented by presented by the partners. So the minimum total project budget should be 333,333 euros. We're expecting to fund one project within this topic, and the project duration is 12 months. And now I will invite my colleague Laura to present the application process.
Okay. Hello, good morning, everyone. I don't know how to move the slides. Can you move the slide, please? Okay, so I will explain a little bit how the submission process is in our tool in Plaza. First of all, there are two steps that should be done as soon as possible, or that we recommend to do as soon as possible. The first one is to get the PIC number in case of any of the entities of the consortium has never asked for some funding to the European Commission. Then you should go to the European tender portal and then ask for a number to be able to ask for any kind of grant or funding to the European Commission. This is not EIT level, but European level. And the second step that we recommend to do as soon as possible is to register as entity in our Plaza system, which is the tool that we use to submit the proposals. We will soon publish some guidelines for applicants to help you in all this process. We will publish in our website. Next slide, please. So this is what we look like. The Plaza tool. This is what you will see once you open the Plaza. So first of all, it's very important to make sure that the proposal is correctly submitted in the area and the segment that you see here. The area is innovation. The intended execution period is permanently open targeted call. And the segment is permanently open targeted call first cutoff. This is very important to put it right. And then the duration of the project is 1 year from the 1st of April till the end of March in 2025. Please move on to the next slide, please. Well, there are other tabs like contacts, project overview, project keywords, where you will be asked to introduce all the traditional information about the project scope, milestones, task, budget, resources, etc. But then there are some specific questions about the targeted call and the topic itself. Here there are some general questions, they are the ones that you are seeing in the screen, but there are also one specific question for each of the topics. And in this case, you only have to ask the one related to this specific topic, to topic 3, the one of the DRT. And you will see this is the question that Adnan explained before. So make sure to fulfill correctly only this question related to this topic. There are also a tab about sustainability that we will explain later. Here it is, actually, for topic 4. This is the question that Adnan explained before. So this is the one you need to fulfill. There will be others for topic 1, 2, 3, and 5, but you only have to fulfill the one for topic 4. Next slide, please. Yeah. In case there are any other document that you should upload it, you will do it there. Finally, some tips to help you in this process. We recommend you to not wait till the end to ask for the PIC number or the plaza registration. The PIC number takes a few days to give you, so take that into account. Also the way until last moment to enter all your data in Plaza, because you know Plaza is a software and sometimes there are technical problems the last day when a lot of people is trying to access to the same tool. Another thing is to please double check all the topic eligibility. For example, if the co-funding is correct, the minimum co-funding, the consortia, if they are asking you for 2 member states, please be sure that there are 2 member states represented in the consortia. If you are fulfilling all the mandatory KPIs, things like that. Then we recommend you also to read the strategic fit and evaluation criteria, because if you know how are you going to evaluate the project, it will be easier to write a better proposal. And finally, don't forget about answering the topic-specific evaluation question that we just mentioned before. Let's talk now about the evaluation process. We want to highlight some parts of the process, so you know how are we going to do the evaluation. By the end of February, when all the submissions, when the process is closed, we will start evaluation process that will take around a month. So first of all, the PMO will check the eligibility of the project. Things like if there is 2 member states, like the co-funding rate is correct, the applicants are eligible, things like that. Don't worry if anything is missing, because the PMO will will send you a communication in case there is some mistake or something missing, and you will have 5 days to complete all the missing parts. Then when everything is eligible, then we move to the strategic fit and the full evaluation. In these steps, step 2 and 3, we have 3 external evaluators from outside the EIT that will evaluate the proposal. The first step is to evaluate how this proposal is fitting in the EIT strategy, in the targeted strategy, and also how it's aligned with the topic that you are applying to. So they will evaluate these 3 criteria, and you need to score more than 3 out of 5 points in all these 3 criteria. And then if you do like that, then we move to the next step, the full evaluation. In this step, these external evaluators will evaluate the excellence of the project in terms of the level of novelty that this technology is bringing versus the state of the art. and how feasible, for example, is to achieve a TRL 9 by the end of the project, things like that. They will evaluate also the impact that this project is going to have in terms of KPIs, in terms of outcomes, in terms of they will evaluate also the dissemination communication plan, the exploitation plan, and finally the implementation of the project itself. Here we are going to evaluate if how the budget is allocated, how the tasks are allocated, if the consortium the partners in the consortium have very well defined roles, and if those partners are complementary, and things like that, how the project is, if the project is coherent and effective, the project plan. In this case, this has a weight of the 80% of the total score. If in this part you have more than 60 points, then we move to the final step, which is the portfolio selection. In this step, there is a selection committee formed by people from the board management of the EIT Urban Mobility, where they evaluate how this proposal is aligned with the EIT Urban Mobility portfolio, and they will evaluate also the track record of the entities involved in the project. They can give up to 20 points to the proposals, and then we make a score of the proposals, and then the best ones will be awarded with EIT funding. The ones that are not going to be awarded, they will stay like in a reserve list in case during the negotiation phase some of the proposals won't make it, or maybe in case we get additional funding. Don't wait for it, but there is this reserve list in case we get some additional funding by any reasons. So let's move on. Now I'll give you the floor to my colleague Judith for the awarded projects.
So yeah, I will take it from here. So regarding the awarded projects, one key thing to take into to keep in mind at this stage is that all projects will have a commercial partner. The commercial partner is expected, so we're expecting from the commercial partner a return on investment. Basically, this is to contribute for our financial sustainability and to keep on basically financing future projects. The key thing to keep in mind at this moment is that this will depend on the type of the commercial partner. So if it's a general commercial partner, it will be considered type A. If it's an equity portfolio partner, it will be considered type B. And then if it's a new company or a spin-out created partner, there will be type C. So depending on this type, a different model basically will be negotiated with the commercial team. So either a revenue share or either in sales enablement services or equity increase. Normally, the equity increase is reserved for the already existing equity portfolio partners. And for the rest, they're usually a sales enablement service. So the details of this will be obviously negotiated later. Another thing to keep in mind that other than the commercial partner, who within the sales enablement service will be required to become a partner as well, all the other partners in the project are also required to become a member. So there are 3 different types of memberships. There is for the cities, usually it's the leading city partnership, and then for industry partners and startups, it's either a silver partnership or a gold partnership. So you can visit the website for more details on what you get. So what are the offerings for each type of partnership. And yeah, so that is it regarding the membership. After that, so what you are expecting is that once the project is awarded, you will, so at the beginning, we need to validate the partnership, so through the membership, etc. Sign the legal document, sign the commercial agreement as well. And then we start with the project. So obviously, product, service, or solution development, the live demonstration that we have to plan, and then the monitoring, testing, and the demonstration visit. At the end, obviously, you will need to fill the final reports, make sure that you delivered all your deliverables and outputs, and fulfill the KPIs. And that is it.
So thank you everybody for joining this webinar. As said before, this was recorded and we will publish on the call webpage. So in case you would like to rewatch something, it's there. But the most details you can of course find in the call manual and in the topic description annex. Thank you everybody and have a nice day.